Alrighty, so it's getting to be fall. It is autumn already, and you see the book in front of you. I bought this book a long time ago. You could see it's kind of falling apart, and we're going to start making bread in the autumn. Now, I was not able to purchase the very nice flours that he mentions in the book, but this is in my grocery, right? King Arthur's. And this is the bread flour, and this is the whole wheat flour. And the first thing I'm going to do, let's see if I can get that into frame. The first thing I'm going to do before I try to make the starter for the breads that we're going to make is I'm going to make a blend of flours that we're going to use for the starter. So to do that, let's get a measuring cup. Okay, I'm going to take a half a cup of this whole wheat flour. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, and then I'm going to take 3 of those measures. Right, so it's going to be 25% of this mixture is going to be whole wheat, and the 75% is going to be the bread flour. And what I'm attempting to make is what he likes to call in the book 20% bran flour. Now I know what you're thinking. If I wanted 20%, I should do 4 cups of the bread flour and 1 cup, and that would be 5 parts, and that would be 20%. But we refer to the mixture as 20%, but it's not a 20% bread flour and 20, it's not 20% whole wheat flour. What we're trying to make is what he refers to as this 20% bran, whole bran. So since I can't purchase that, I'm making it myself in a blending of flours. So because I know I confused everybody, this is page 46 of the book, and we're talking about this 20% bran wheat flour. Okay, but since I'm not able to buy that, what I'm doing is I'm making my own. And to do that, I'm blending 3 cups, 3 parts bread flour and 1 part whole wheat. So it looks like this. And this is important because this is what we're going to use to make the starter. So I'm going to take 4 ounces of this flour. I'm going to mix it with 4 ounces of water and a tiny bit of yeast. Just a tiny bit, and I'm going to show you that. And we're going to do that 3 days in a row. So today is day 1. Alrighty, so first things first, I need 4 ounces of this lovely blend of flours. And what do I have? 3 3/4. I just went over, okay. Perfect. 4 ounces of that. And then I'm going to do 4 ounces of spring water. And we're going to mix that up. And we're going to use a tiny bit of yeast. All right. And let me show you, well, I'll get to that in a second. Let's first mix these 2 up, shall we? So I'm going to throw the flour mixture and the water into this nice tall container, because this is going to happen 3 days in a row. Okay, and it's nothing special, right? It's just a blending of flour and water. Okay, and check this out. This is just active dry yeast. And I'm going to just put in that much yeast. That's it. That much yeast. And in 24 hours, okay, you see what it looks like, right? Okay. In 24 hours, I'm going to show you what it looks like. And then we're going to do this again tomorrow at the same time. And then we're going to do it the next day at the same time. And you're going to see this thing evolve into the starter. I believe they call the part that I'm doing now, they call it the Levan. Or actually, they call it the Polish. I'm going to look that up. And then after 3 days of this is when we can actually take this and start turning it into bread. And then after we do that, we have to then figure out how to keep this alive, and we're going to keep it in the fridge. And then basically we can make bread like every couple of days. And if we don't want to make bread right away, then we just have to feed this thing, they call it the chef. And once we feed it, then it just stays alive. And that's pretty much how, you know, when they talk about sourdough, how it's the original starter. Well, this is kind of what they do. And we're going to get into all different kinds of breads. Okay, so we're making our bread starter. And remember yesterday, we put 4 ounces of flour and 4 ounces of, what the hell is that? And 4 ounces of, that's lobster. 4 ounces of flour, 4 ounces of water, and a tiny bit of yeast. And we stirred it up, and you see it's starting to smell a little bit fermented. Okay, so today we're not going to add any more yeast. We're just going to add 4 ounces of water and stir that up, and 4 ounces of flour. No more yeast. That little bit of yeast we put in the beginning is all we're using. Okay, and then we're going to do this again tomorrow. So 3 days in a row. And this is going to make a nice ripe chef. But ripe in a good way, not ripe in a fat, scary guy way. Okay. I need my little scraper. Hold on. And that is it. Now we wait. So we're going to wait another 24 hours. Scrape all that down, and I want to pay careful attention to what it looks like now so that we can compare to what it looks like tomorrow, because this will all be videoed, obviously, right? So you see how it's at that level, right? You see what it looks like on the inside, and tomorrow it's going to be all bubbly, and if it's not, we got to start over and do it again, but it should be all bubbly. All right. So this is 48 hours since we first made it, right? So this is day 2, and we're going on day 3. And you see what I'm going to do? I'm going to mark exactly where the level of the yeast is. I'm going to mark it. Oh boy, that's not going to be easy, is it? I'm going to put some tape. I thought that was a sticky note, but I'm going to put some tape on it. So that's where, that's the level, right? And the reason why I'm marking that is because tomorrow it should be even higher than that. Now, yes, now it's got a full, sour, pungent smell like we're making alcohol. And you see it's loose, the batter is loose. I'm going to put in, again, 4 ounces of water, right? Stir it up, get some good oxygen mixed into there. And I need my scraper. Where's my scraper? Here's my scraper. Okay. And then 4 ounces of my concocted 20% bran flour. It's the mixture I made of the whole wheat, whole grain flour and the bread flour. So you see how by mixing it up, I'm pretty much right at the same level that I was when it rose. I'm actually below it, right? Looks like. Hold on. We'll get a good look at that in a second. Okay. So tomorrow, if it isn't significantly higher than it was today, then something went wrong and I'm going to start over. But I believe that this mixture tomorrow will be somewhere around here. Okay, and you see how it's lower now, and we're going to give that another full 24 hours. And then after that, we're going to start preparing to make bread. Hey there. Okay, so this is interesting. This is the line from last night, and you see I'm below that line. Earlier today, I was at the line, and you could see the impression on the side. It did grow, but it collapsed, and that's okay. So I'm going to leave that line there, and today is the day that we're going to make the Levan. So right now, this is the chef. It's a fully ripe chef. It smells wonderful. I've tasted it. It's got a very slight vinegar taste. And what I'm going to do now is no water, just 6 ounces of the 20% bran mixture. Throw it in there, stir it up. And the reason why I'm doing this now, like it's almost 10 p.m., is because I don't want this to wait more than 10 hours. So if it's 10 p.m., I'm thinking by 7 a.m., I'm gonna then start to make the poulish and then the bread. So right now, this is the Levan. And you see how it's dry now, right? Because I didn't put any water. So tomorrow, see what it looks like? I'm going to scrape down the edges. Let's get my scraper. Scrape down those edges. And tomorrow morning, when I get up, it should be up around here. And we're going to see. If it's not up around there, I'm not even going to try to make bread. But if it is, then we're going to take it to the next step. Now, if it's not, then I got to figure out what the heck is going on, why my yeast is not behaving correctly. And remember, I only put a tiny little bit of yeast in here. So all of this activity that you see here is all of that yeast multiplying on its own. And the other thing is, you know, the house is probably, I don't know, 70 degrees, and probably you need a warmer temperature for this to be really successful. But, you know, I'm not going to raise the temperature of the house to 80. So here we are. You see where there's the marking, and you see that right now it's all below that marking. You see what it looks like. It's very firm. Tomorrow it should be up around here. So we'll see. Okay. You see how it rose above my line. I thought it was going to come up to about here, but that's fine. It rose, so we're good. And I'm going to take 18 ounces of this. Oh boy, it smells good. And there's two things that's going to occur now. First thing is I'm going to get ready to make the dough. So I need 18 ounces of this. And then the second thing that's going to occur is I'm going to then feed the chef. All right, let me get my equipment.